I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call.
Dan. Here. Nicole.
Here.
Dave. Here. Kevin.
Here.
Beth.
Here. All right, any comments from the audience? George?
Show a little more enthusiasm. I like recognition and a thanks to Russ Weichel for paying for chip sealing McMillan. That was very nice
He
of
hasn't paid
him.
for him yet.
Isn't it here?
He hasn't paid yet, but he will.
He will pay for it, we all know that.
All right, anybody else? Approval of board minutes from August 14th? Or no, from September 11th. Hey, wait a second here. John? I got August 14th minutes.
Yeah, so do I.
That's what I have too.
I wasn't reading it off of the thing. I
You
wrote it
maybe
down.
just change the, did you change the top of it?
Maybe.
Yeah, because we approved the August 14th
Yeah.
minutes on there.
Yeah, I didn't change the top, so maybe
And
just
the
So
minutes.
it should,
a motion with that edit.
so it should say September 11th? Yeah. Thank you. Because 4 and 5 on there talk about approving the
Yeah.
August 14th.
Oh, we must be missing one of the minutes. Or no, we did approve both of those.
Yes.
Okay. So we're approving September 11th. The date is incorrect on the top of the paperwork we just got.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of September 11th, 2020,
With corrections?
with the correction of the date on the top.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, report, plan commission. Dorothy's not here. Bruce will be doing that for us tonight.
Yeah, the meeting was on 25th September. We looked at to approve or disapprove the John C. Hafer CSM. After discussing it, he purchased 44 acres. He wanted to take off, or separate off 6.2 acres, which still left him as within the 35 acres for farmland preservation. It was moved to approve, and it was a roll call vote was all yes. We discussed the issue of building permits within the town, and there had been some apparent mix-up at the county level. This has been resolved. The next thing we discussed was joint boundary agreement, and after looking it over very carefully and having everybody had a good look at it, we decided there wasn't much that we could give to this particular issue, and moved on. The next thing was the budget for the coming year. We approved with all in favor a request for $4,000 for payroll and $1,000 for expenses. And that's it.
Any questions, Bruce?
Just, Bruce, I talked to one other joint boundary committee member, and I haven't been able to get to the next one, but I think it kind of behooves us. I think they've got a lot of turnover in the city, so I still think it's good, because what you had said that the other township, town of what? Cameron, yeah.
Cameron?
Thought they'd be, reneged a little bit on it, so as long as we get some payment in lieu of taxes in case they annex anything, there's nothing we can do, but.
I talked to Steve Barg, and he said they have the town's attorney working on the agreement right now.
You talked to whom?
Steve Barg.
Okay, yep.
And he said, because they didn't have anybody on the joint planning at this point, they got 2 advisors, which would be Josh Miller and what's the other guy's name, Brett? Whatever.
Yeah, it's been a year, well, it was a year this month since we
Yeah.
met.
Yeah,
But if there's nothing going on, we don't need to either. If nobody wants to.
except that
But our
the
contract
The contract is good until the end of October, because it was signed in June, and then it has to be approved by the state, according to Steve. And he said, so we're good yet, so,
Okay,
and he's gonna try to get it something set up before the end of October, hopefully. And if not, I said, well, we'll just continue as we are until we can get it going.
I know they've had a big turnover and now Josh Miller's back as what?
Advisor,
Consultant.
that's all he is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And
So
it
I
was
don't
good.
think, that he doesn't live in the city anymore, does he? That's why,
Right.
so, yeah. But anyway, I'll wait for his phone call, because he said he'd get back to me on all that.
Good.
Anything else for Bruce? Nothing. What I would like to do, as long as we're on that contract real quick, I'd like to go for 10 years for compensation instead of 5. Worst they can say is no, right?
Sounds okay to me. I mean,
You bet, why not?
Well,
Go for it.
exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, they want a 10-year contract, we should give 10 years of compensation.
Right.
So,
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
negotiation,
Huh?
now's the time to negotiate.
Wait, I don't have it here yet, so. Anyway, let's see, for highway, Kurt and I went out and did the whistle report, and John is gonna be putting that in the computer. I was amazed. We resurfaced Man Road, Elm Tree, Galvin, all kinds of them in 2022.
Amazing.
Really?
Was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah, we corrected all of, well, we will be correcting all of that.
In your dreams.
Well, it's gotta be corrected, you know.
God.
And then we also, we don't have an Abe Lincoln Road. We do, but we don't on here. So
Oh, so that,
there's some names that are wrong. There's places where we don't have the signs up yet. Like Meadow, I think it was, that one had changed to, and I don't remember, Kurt, what was it that Meadow had?
Wasn't it Derby?
Could be, I'm not sure.
But it's still called Meadow.
Yeah, they still had Meadow up for the sign, so that has to be changed, but, yeah, we got that done, so. But yeah, we were looking at the resurfacing, and in 2022, they just did a bang-up job.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then the windmills, I went to that meeting, and Dave, you went also.
right,
And it was just a presentation is what it was. And the way they talked is to watch a plane, because they got one major lawsuit coming. Fred told me Ben told me they don't have any contracts in McMillan as of yet. But I think I sent you guys the map and everything on where they are looking, so.
here's what I printed off. If anybody needs any reading to put themselves to sleep, there it is.
Yeah, I know, I got packed too.
And then, I talked to the senior right-of-way specialist, civil and field engineering. This guy's out of Greenwood Village, Colorado, Ryan Macon. That's
Mhm.
what I got. So if anybody is
I
interested.
think Ben is our representative,
Yeah.
according to the email we got.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he had told me, he says, they don't know at this time what O'Plain has and if any of their ordinances will work, but he says that would be the one to watch. He says, and if they work, that's the one you wanna go out onto. So,
And Dave?
Town and Day is sitting right there,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Do you have anybody that you know of that signed up?
They got 5 contracts in their township for
Really?
sure. Yeah,
And you have the
We're the
ordinance,
Epic Center,
and you have the ordinance too in place.
that's only health and safety.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because they're worthless otherwise. There is none.
yeah.
Any in Cleveland?
Is there some in Cleveland?
There was interest there as far as I know, I don't know for sure, but I had heard possible there too.
And O'Plain was the other one, right?
Yeah, it could be, I don't know what they got going on other than, we have none here,
As of yet.
as of this point.
Yeah, okay.
But he did tell me is that these windmills cannot be within a mile of the marsh or wetlands.
Oh,
Oh,
so if
good.
you have a little section of wetland.
No, that ain't gonna fly.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Good try.
I have to say that 88 pages that Dave has lists a lot of the specifications in there. I was glancing over that this weekend and the state protected themselves.
very much so.
So it's up to the private people.
Oh, okay.
And
So-
there's been some studies done with bats and birds and
Right. So again, the wetlands protected, state lands,
Yeah, that's all it does, basically.
exactly,
But they said within a mile of the marsh,
correct.
so,
And that's why the town of Day would be the epicenter, because we don't have the old plain flowage. Yes, we have some mead wildlife, we don't have the McMillan marsh. So, and that's why they focused in our area there.
mhm.
And they're supposed to still have to do their wind studies, right?
Oh, yeah, they
3
got,
years.
mhm. And they were also saying, oh, let me think here just a minute. The joint development agreement, the state will actually send you a template in order for you to set that up. And they will also pay the township if these windmills produce over 100 megahertz, the town will get 215,000. I can guarantee you ours will produce 99.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then the county gets,
County gets 283, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna push for the 100 megahertz if anything, you know.
Megawatts.
Megawatts, megahertz, whatever it is.
But again, there's different guidelines. If you're under 100,000, you work underneath this set of guidelines. If you're over 100,000, then it's a totally different set of guidelines. too.
Yeah. So, but they said the big thing is gonna be the road issue, hauling in all of that concrete. It's gonna haul the roads pretty bad, so,
I asked how much concrete went into the base of one of those, he couldn't answer me.
no,
It's a lot of concrete.
He said what?
For the base of.
Yeah, I heard that from how much?
He couldn't answer me. I asked him how
I
much.
seen a picture, I mean, on Facebook, I don't know, you maybe seen that one too. They had a goddamn hole dug, man, like you wouldn't believe, and the amount of base on that, holy Christ, that was big.
And you have to realize, it's when they're done, it's that they're non-working anymore, it's the landowner's responsibility to clean this all up.
Yeah, yeah.
So when they're telling you you're gonna be a millionaire, that's nothing nowadays. It's gonna cost you a whole lot more than $1 million to clean up when you're done.
Maybe you'll have one hell of a foundation. Something.
True.
building on it.
I also asked the question, I said about recycling the blades. And he's no, it's new carbon fiber and they can recycle them. That was the answer I
Right.
got. So,
Not fiberglass.
no, they changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't they need so many windmills in a certain area? Like, you can't just do 3, right?
That's what they're doing though, isn't it? It's 3 in each area, I believe, right now.
Like, don't you, like, you go to southern Wisconsin, they're like on top of each other almost.
Right.
Yeah, you go to eastern Michigan, it's the same, and it'll never be just 3. This is a boondoggle. They will lie to you straight up.
Right.
They did every place.
But
The only
again-
place that had some success, apparently, and that was up in the Garden Peninsula up in the UP, right near Manistee. They came up with an ordinance that limited the amount of sound to a certain number of decibels. It wasn't just a matter of this isn't safe because it's a health hazard, to a certain number of decibels, and they may have won with that for the time being. But the fact is, they will bring in whatever they want.
Yeah.
And why don't they put it in the marsh? Because it's a perfect place to put it. Those are tax dollars that
It costs
never
too much
ever get.
for the concrete. That's why.
Concrete will set underwater.
No, but the logistics of putting it in the marsh.
But they don't have to buy it.
Than putting it in the.
They don't have to
field.
buy the marsh.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Well, and I also asked him about the noise. And he said, oh no, they don't have any noise, there's no sound anymore.
Yeah, that's just untrue. But those are 3 wings, and that's how they rotate. And yeah, no, this is just a boondoggle. It's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie.
I asked about stray voltage and cattle contact area and that sort of stuff. And
That's all old equipment that did that. It's
Yeah.
not the new stuff.
Not the new
No,
stuff.
that's electricity that does that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
They have old
and if you go near any of those wind farms, there are all of the stuff, all the power gets transmitted underground. So they're gonna bury all that up to the point where they put in high tension lines, and there will be concentration areas that will have to be put up. They've already started looking into areas where they're gonna run a corridor through with high power lines overhead.
Yeah, yeah.
Have they, you have a question? Have they stated where all this energy that they're supposedly making, where it's gonna be utilized at?
It's gotta go to a substation someplace, I would imagine, but I guess I didn't ask.
Well, they'll
I think
put more
it's
substations in.
all driven by the 2030 agreement to, like, all the utilities have to have 10% of the power from a green energy source. That's my understanding.
We do. It comes from coal.
Yes.
That was all green when it started out.
Touche.
Yeah,
That's the best one I've heard in a while. I like that.
And in order to build those generators, they use that kind of energy, just like they're using for the conduction system over in Michigan that the in quotes, governor has put in. They're putting in a mile of induction cable along 1 mile worth of road in Detroit so that you can charge your electric car while you're driving. Nobody understands that there's loss all the way along this line. There is absolutely, we have moved from one thing to, but there's no chance. You don't have a snowball's chance in hell.
Yeah, induction is not efficient.
Okay, but on the upside, we got the poultry problem solved, didn't we? Madison County.
the
Keep that in
chicken
mind.
problem, yes. All right, any questions?
Any
All right.
got questions, I got the book. You probably-
Okay, Dan.
Okay, library, we'll hit on that, on,
Down
item
agenda.
10, and then, website, John just been updating meeting minutes, regular stuff like that, nothing more to add.
Okay. Buildings and grounds, Carolyn.
We're hoping to wrap up the mowing within another 1 or 2 mows. So we do have to, I've been trying to chase down, what's his name down there on the corner? Zimmerman, Hank Zimmerman, to get that new door in. That door is just hanging by a thread.
This one
on
over
the-
here?
No, over
Yeah.
that one. So to get that done, but he said he's in the midst of 2 big ones, so I may try to go to Tom Seifert to see if he could be a little faster. I don't know. I hate to have it snow and
Oh, you want to
with
get
the
it taken
door
care of
hanging
in the
there.
winter.
Hmm?
You want to get that taken care
Oh,
of.
it's gotta
in the
be,
winter.
yeah. So that's about it. We have, the windows are all washed, they're nice and clean. And we think we have figured out, Donna and Pat put that finish in the pavilion floor.
Oh, you put a sealer on it?
It's
When we did that.
Oh,
when
yeah.
it was first
When it was
built,
done.
and then nothing has been done since. So we're hoping we can do this cheaply and just clean it and put on another coat.
Okay.
So that's it.
Pat said he was gonna call.
Yeah, we'll
before
hopefully
we got
get
the
it done
last
in November.
stuff, Cause I'm asking so long, to try to get this
Yeah.
thing.
Otherwise, call one of the concrete companies and see what they recommend.
That's we worked for.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Any questions, Carolyn? All right, garbage and recycling, Dave.
Garbage recycling, I didn't attend the last meeting, I think.
Me and Carolyn did.
And what did you learn that,
Not a heck of a lot because they didn't have a quorum, so they're gonna be rescheduling.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the prices are gonna go up.
But yeah, well, that they had to cross.
Yeah, that
And
one,
the manager didn't show up? I understand.
no.
Okay.
So we'll be waiting on that one.
Okay.
It's either the 18th or 25th, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, they're
yes.
gonna let us know.
So that's
They
coming up.
did put a new sign on the dumpster out here and they have emptied it finally. I threatened them with a health hazard. And so they did, so luckily. with no charge, he said. So,
Well, that's
we'll
good
see
thing.
how far that goes.
All right, policies and procedures, Carolyn Nicole.
Just working on updates, otherwise, nothing new to add.
Yeah.
And ordinances, Nicole, nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, fire department, Lori.
As of our last meeting, we have 4 EMS calls, no fires, and 1 vehicle accident. For new members, we want to welcome Janet Crowley to the department. We were awarded the DNR grant that I filled out in 2022 for 2023, no, 2024, somewhere in there. But we got awarded that. Ladder truck is still down at Red Forties getting fixed. Election of officers for 2024. The group elected Adam Knapp as assistant chief, Kim Kilty as second captain, Rob Bauer as first lieutenant, Tyler Mueller as second lieutenant, and Ben Holberg was appointed secretary. Training, we're going to determine that here in a little bit. EMS training is also to be determined because they haven't figured out what we're doing there. Community education, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Please check out our Facebook page. And Fall Fest, we are wrapping up final details on that.
Any questions for Lori?
Who's your second lieutenant?
Tyler Mueller,
I don't know.
I forgot to add him in there, I didn't realize he did that.
Okay.
All right, clerk's report, John, notifications and correspondence.
So, 1 moment. Let's see, so I received, Maryland County sent us an agreement to renew our, election services agreement with them. It's just basically saying, what we'll do, what they'll do, and then, it has some fees for services that we'll have to pay for, like, the DS200, which is the tabulator, so we have to, get that maintained and stuff, and then publication costs for elections, stuff like that. So we'll get that signed and returned this week.
I need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
In a second,
I'll second.
any discussion? These are just basic, it's formality is what it amounts to, so. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, John.
So I'll return that, this week on Friday. I have to go up there and take our election equipment in, so our DS200 and our Express Vote, need to go up there for required maintenance and updates. I issued 2 operator licenses for resource recovery. I received 1 open records request. Let's see, Dorothy forwarded an email to me from the Marathon County Conservation Planning and Zoning regarding updates to chapters 12, 15, 21, and 22. Marathon County is requesting town comments by November 10th for chapter 12, and our next meeting is November 13th. So I think the process is that planning commission evaluates that stuff and then kind of reports back to the board, so maybe keep that in mind if you want to like come up with another meeting tonight, or that's your call. We received a couple of zoning permits, so 1 on County Road E, 1 on Dury Road, 1 on Marsh Road, and 1 on Swallowtail Lane. And we received 1 shoreline alteration permit on Marsh Road. I was notified that we did not receive the grant for Galvin, but the STP local grant is available again. So we are able to just basically cut and paste from the last one.
Jim looked at it today.
Okay.
He said we're gonna take care of that.
Applications for that, for the STP local, are due on October 27th. And the LRIP is open, and applications for that are due on November 1st. It looked like it's mostly a lot of 50-50 grants. with the possibility of going up to 90/10. So, I don't recall how much money was available for that, but it sounds like both of those are pretty competitive.
Yeah, they all
rates,
are.
but
They're gonna.
yeah, I mean, they're all gonna be competitive, so.
With the LRIP, and then correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, if you apply for one, you're applying for both that are available. One is 50/50 and the other one will give you 30,000, wasn't it?
Well,
Right at that.
it'd be 30,000 tweez,
Something on that order, right in that 30,000 mark, so.
because the county,
Joe's on the committee, so be really, really nice to him. But anyway, but we will be applying for those.
Okay.
Scott?
That's all I had for notifications and correspondence.
Okay. Checks. Anybody have any questions? Do we need a motion?
I'll move to approve the clerk's report as presented.
About the approval of the checks as presented.
Pardon me?
And the checks.
And the check that was presented.
Are you on checks now?
Yeah,
What the hell is a gray dog?
that was the DJ over
That, no,
at,
that was our axe throwing guy who come out.
okay.
I have no idea what anybody said.
That's the axe throwing guy that they had at Fall Festival.
The who?
We had an
Axe
axe throwing,
Yeah, they threw
a portable
axes.
axe throwing, thing at Fall Fest.
Okay. Are the microphones on? Obviously not. They look really nice sitting there. Good decoration. For Christmas, we can put lights on them.
Okay, it's a good suggestion. Anything, anybody else have any questions? All in favor? Or did we get a second on that?
I don't have a
John?
second.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? No. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, budget to actual, anything different on there, John?
No, everything, I think we're in good shape so far. So during the budget, you know, I've been kind of working on my own with the budget stuff, and with the ARPA, and, I reached out to some of the colleagues on the clerk's list, and, so I think that maybe we might consider classifying the Farner asphalt as,
Under our,
ARPA spending.
can we do the crack filling?
Yes, it's my understanding that we can do, so, I actually was talking to Donna, just kind of spitballing prior to coming over here, and I think it would be nice to capture as much as we can, so that we can get as money spent, like, a lot of my
Till the end of
colleagues.
next year.
Yeah, but a lot of my colleagues were, they're just like, let's just get it spent and out the door, so that we don't have to worry about the reporting, you finish up the reporting and then you're good to go. There's a safe harbor of like, if you got less than $10 million, which we only got 220,000, so.
Now we're a little under.
And on top of that, we have to add in, maybe not have to, but probably do, and I think that we should, just add in whatever interest we gain on this money, because it's federal money. So if you gain, if you just stick it in the bank account, it's just, it turns.
So we got
into-
224,000 right now.
Yeah, so,
So use all of it and consider that as part of our ARPA funds is what you're saying.
yeah, so if you want, I can come up with like, a
All the-
list of stuff that to present at the next meeting of what could be, classified as spent under the ARPA.
Yeah,
I wanna look to see, I don't remember what the reporting period is, I don't remember if it's annual or semi-annual, I don't even think it's quarterly, so I think it's at most.
they send you a notice. They do send notices
Yeah.
on updates.
So I have to go back and check, because if it's like an annual thing,
Then we need to
then
get
I
on
think
it.
that we would be comfortable going back to the beginning of the year, and we could get $220,000 of generic expenses, because everything that is a government service can fall under it as a.
But that's all been dedicated to highway. so we have to make sure it stays
Sure.
under highway.
Okay.
But we put gravel, we did crack filling, we did chip sealing, so as much as we can cram in there, we're going to, and whatever we have left for next year, well, that'll cover crack filling or whatever.
Best to document it, get it off the
Well,
books.
it's gotta be documented, most definitely,
Yeah,
that's,
no, but I mean, yeah, just.
get it out of there.
get it-
Well, that
it-
frees
It all
up.
coming out of the same pot.
Yeah, and
Right.
one of the clerks sent me a nice spreadsheet that I'm gonna deploy to track all that stuff, so, cause, you know, just in case they come back and say, hey, you know, show me where you said, you know, cause like you said, it's all coming out of the same pot, it's coming out of the same, accounting thing. We don't have separate accounting instances for every single
Right.
checking account or different account of the money that we have at the bank. So, yeah, it is just in one coffer, so. Okay, so I'll kind of work on that and come with something, next month to present.
All right. Anything else? Okay. Donna, your bank.
Your bank statements are in front of you. And if there are no questions, under the tax savings account, in that account, there's still 500 and some thousand in there, but the 12,000 for the Lucas device, that's already been spent. So
We can take that off.
we can take that out of there now. As far as we're concerned, it's already out of there. We can take that out of there, or we know that it was spent, and then the rest is man road. So we'll move that, we'll have to move that to something, probably just the general checking that, because that's where the money came out of.
Move what?
The grant, we paid it out of the general account, so it'll have to come out of that tax savings account and go into the general account to cross-reference that.
I already did, right?
We spent it, but we haven't moved it.
Okay.
So that, just so you know that we'll be doing that. And even if we move that, we still need about 75,000. So I will request a transfer of 75,000 out of that account as well to handle the rest of the bills until next month.
Need a motion?
So we'll make a motion to transfer $12,620
Plus 75.
plus 75 from the tax savings account to the general checking account 6006, and then 75,000 from that same account 6055 to 6006.
Correct?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And we need a motion to approve the financial statement.
So,
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Just one little note, on your budget workshop that you had the other day, there should be, because you'll all get paid, it's gotta be documented as a meeting, so we'll have some kind of minutes. We'll have to do just, continue it or something, and then maybe we can put that in for November. So
Okay.
it's just so we don't forget to make a minutes thing on that.
Over our budget workshop.
Yes, wasn't that like the 28th-ish,
No.
maybe
It's
6th?
October.
October.
Isn't it?
Oh, early October?
Yeah.
fourth, huh?
I think
Yeah,
so.
October
Yes.
4th.
That was October 4th. Then we also got some good news. John had called CJ for the assessment. It's not till 2025.
Oh, nice.
That's good.
2025, not 2024. And
Wonderful.
it'll be approximately 50,000.
Oh,
So that got backed up a little bit.
That's nice.
All right, Mr. Engineer, Jim Wendell, your contract. Everybody's got it in front of them? Does anybody have any questions?
He's looking for money, right?
He just wants a little money.
Well, what I try to do with most contracts that I do, I try to be very articulate in what is all covered. So the narrative part of the contract that I sent you is all the tasks and the scope of services that we'll do to design Man Street. The reason I do that, and I research it quite a bit ahead of time by inspecting the culverts and that, is I don't want to come to you with change orders for additional work. I like to cover it all at once in the beginning. And I know I worked with the town, you remember this was a TRID project for 1 mile, and we extended it to 2, and we revised the scope. And to be honest with you, it's one of the worst roads I've ever seen, and I've been designing roads for 33 years, so the condition of Man Street is just terrible. And I think, you know, I look at the wetlands around it in the McMillan Marsh area, and it's very hard to come up with a project that's gonna give you, you know, a long sustained life to the roadway. So I want to implement that geotextile fabric. I wanna kinda cut it from the top down, because if we really try to redo the ditches and the side slopes and go with select crush, I'm afraid what's gonna happen is your wetland impacts are gonna be so tremendous that you'll spend a lot of money in wetland mitigation of impacts. So what I really try to do on this project is go from the top down, keep the end slopes where they are, keep driveways where they are, keep the profile where it is, because the minute you start to raise the profile, that's when your end slopes start to widen out. And there are a fair number of driveways along there that all those driveways would have to be replaced, all those culverts would have to be replaced under the driveways. And I think we can preserve them the way they are. So if you look at overall percent design delivery on a $1.6 million project, I think I'm at about 5.75% delivery of it, and I feel real good about that.
Any wiggle room?
If you think I'm high in some areas, but I gave you the hours of our individual staff, but we try to do these contracts for town government at our actual cost. You will see there is 6% profit in our contracts.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions for you?
So I see we're opening the bid in July of 2024. Is anybody going to be able to have time in their schedule to start the construction of August of 2024?
You know, that's a great question, Nicole, and you know, when we send this, what I need, I wish I could do it sooner, but I need time to permit the job.
Yeah.
And the DNR to review and to do all the reviews at the agency level that need to be done. That's the earliest I think we can have it ready. Now, there are contractors, that's not a good time to bid a project because they're booked up. But let's say we get bids in and they seem crazy high because of the lateness, you know, we could reject it and rebid it in the spring or in the
I just
winter.
hate putting that road off even.
I know, right? And what I'm trying to do is get it designed as fast as possible for you. In fact, we already went out and delineated the wetlands, because pretty soon that window for when you can delineate wetlands and submit to the DNR closes very quickly here as vegetation starts to die off.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try really hard, Nicole, to do that, but you bring up a good point. The best thing I think we can do is notify some area contractors that we do plan to have this project, you know, in June, July as a bid, and let them know it's coming. And you can all do that with some of the contractors that you know and trust here, like American Asphalt. Does Earth Inc. come up in this way? Out of Arpin, you know, some of those contractors this job would really interest them at that price point. That's a big job for them.
Yeah.
So.
And this will be considered a construction project, am I correct?
Pardon?
This will be considered a construction project.
Oh,
So,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost a reconstruct. I'd call it more rehab than reconstruct, but yeah, it's a big job.
Yeah.
And when I say we want to close the road, it's never closed to those that really live along it. It'll be up to the contractor to make it traversable each day for emergency service and or residents that have a driveway onto it. But I think we can work it in stages between Lincoln and St. Joseph, and then St. Joseph over to E, you know, and kind of section it out a little bit. But they'll always have, the contractor can't leave at the end of the day unless he brings up some sort of gravel surface for folks to travel on. It's just, I'd like to show it as closed to through traffic, open to local traffic only. And the reason I think fall is also a good time, because I don't think you're dealing with the spring high water table and the spring flows, so I mean, August, September, October is a great time, it's probably when it's the driest out there, but like you say, I hope there'll be contractors that give you fair pricing.
Well, and there might be contractors looking for work.
Right.
That weren't successful
That's true.
later in the year. I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
I got one quick question. So we have man, what is your, I mean, does the town of McMillan, it seems like, you know, for the real estate on that road, I mean, we don't come anywhere close to maintaining that road for the residents that live on that road. It's to the benefit of the city of Marshfield and other businesses. I mean, have you seen any roads that are like that concentrated to the benefit of other people besides this township?
I see what you're saying, it's in your jurisdiction, but most people are
We
city
get,
of Marshfield.
it benefits everybody but the town of McMillan,
Sure.
and we're paying for it all.
Sure. Yeah, that, I'm not sure how to overcome
Yeah.
that dilemma, Dan.
Yeah, okay.
I know that's happened to other towns before, too. The majority of traffic that uses it is to the south of city of Marshfield, right?
Yeah, right,
That's where
yeah,
most of the
yeah,
residents
right.
are.
Yeah, I mean,
What
it's,
happens is they come from 13, they cut across, they go to the
St.
clinic
Joe's.
and hospital for work. Or
Sure.
they cut through and they go to Menards and Aldi's and
Walmart.
Walmart, all those
Yeah.
stores. That's a heavily trafficked road.
Mhm.
yeah, from both,
Yes.
from, yeah.
We have tried.
No, I know,
We have
I know.
tried to get the city to join in with us, and they absolutely refuse. And I also went to Jim Griesbach several years ago and tried to get him to take, the county to take it over.
I tried
And he
to.
said, absolutely not.
Yeah, nobody wants it, unless you can force it on
Nobody
somebody
wants
who knows
it
you can take
because
it.
they know it's a losing
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, it's one of the highest volume town roads I've seen in a long time at 2,100 vehicles per day. That's up there, that's county
Yeah.
road typically.
Yeah.
you know.
Just a quick question, so they're gonna remove approximately 16 inches, that's the contractor's responsibility on where it goes and.
It is deep, you can have them cut the top off. At that time, I encourage you to have, you know, an engineer on site to take a look at, now that we cut the top off, are there some really bad, soft and yielding areas, and we might do some spot excavation of those and put some select crush in, but otherwise I'm hoping, well, I'm not hoping, I'm confident the G-Textile then placed on top of the subgrade, then built up with 12 inches of base and 4 inches of asphalt, will bridge over some of those soft soils that are out there.
There are 2 or 3 areas that has been done, that have been addressed on that road in the past.
Yeah, and I think, Carolyn, where I see like the newer pavement, that to me is an indicator of that was a soft and yielding area that
Yeah.
I will probably note in the plan that that's an area we definitely want to undercut, possibly more
Yeah,
than the
yeah.
16 inch to get rid of. It's probably silty clay, you know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
saturated. Your pipes, you guys have really done a good job on pipes over the years, because of the dozen or so that I looked at, only 3 require replacement.
Right.
The rest are in very good shape.
Mhm.
And, you know, and I gave you like a rating of 1 to 9,
Right.
0 to 9 scale. And when you got pipes that rate like 6 on that scale, they'll last 20 to 30 years.
Mhm.
Don't let the fact that it's at a 6 alarm you. They have many years of life left in them. Probably more life than whatever any asphalt is gonna last.
Mhm.
So. But there were 3 that were pretty bad, especially the 2 by St. Joseph,
Yeah.
and then one a little further to the east.
Mhm.
And for budgeting purposes, it's a $93,000, call it, contract, and I would bid you bill you per month, but in 2023, time is running out here, we'll probably only bill about 25% of that contract, and that will be for survey, wetland delineation, and some early environmental work. The core of the work will occur in 2024 from a design standpoint.
Okay. Hence, ARPA money.
Okay.
Just before you guys say yes to this contract, look at page 6. The last 4 things on there have to be corrected somewhere.
You might have the,
I gave you the old one.
you got the wrong one. We got the right one. It's supposed to be 2024, this right here. Yeah, our date's 2024. You don't qualify.
Sorry, just want to make sure you were aware first.
Dan caught that one right away.
Yeah, that was a good catch. My mind just wasn't working when I filled that table out. I had a mix of 2023 and 24. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Got a question?
I do. Not to be negative about anything, I guess, but is there any kind of guarantee? They get in and you think it needs this, and all of a sudden it needs $500,000 more of riprap underneath because it's soft in there? Is there any guarantees on your end?
I guarantee, I wish I could say there was. I guess just relying on my experience in Marathon County over the years, I think, I'm pretty confident this new textile will bridge over those areas and perform pretty well, very well.
So in 3 years it breaks up again? Too bad, so sad? I mean, you take earthing, they've been building roads for how long? You don't think they can come in and give you a bid and know how to fix it? Just a question.
Yeah. There are no guarantees in life of anything. I mean,
No.
No.
I do need to certify your pavement for 10 years, and that's something that the design, that the scope that I've put forth, I am confident we will get 10 years of service life out of this project. That's part of your TRID program requirements.
Yeah.
and you
It's
will-
not like you're exempt from negligence.
Exactly,
Right.
yeah.
The cost to, what I could guarantee 100% was the select crush undercut, but I just think, remember the budget number on it, it was over $2 million,
Mhm,
2.2.
mhm,
I just think it's just too much for the township
Right.
to handle.
Mhm.
And because it serves the majority of city folks, I don't know if you even want to spend that kind of money on it,
Yeah. Now, this will be a healthy amount, but it is.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the engineering contract for Main Street.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Well, hold on, do a roll call on this one, John, please.
Sure. Dan,
Aye.
Nicole,
Aye.
Dave, Carolyn,
Aye.
Deb.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion carried. And if I can find a pen, there we are. I'm gonna sign this for you so you don't have to sit around. How's that sound?
Okay, Debbie, thanks. Do you have the ability to make a copy?
I already got it here.
Okay.
I assume you'll be coming to make, give us updates as.
Oh, for sure. I always come to the town board meeting. I do have in the contract to hold one public involvement meeting where it could be in conjunction with a board meeting, thank you, where anyone that lives on the corridor, as we get a little further into design, usually about 60% design, be sometime in the winter after the first of the year, show them the plans, get some input, tell them how they're gonna navigate it during construction, so that we're really forthcoming with what's gonna happen.
Yeah, the biggest thing is, they can't have any kind of, it has to be local only. You give them any
Correct.
bit, they'll take.
Absolutely, yeah, no, you're spot on, we have to keep trucks and cut off people off of it.
Yeah.
And I will design it with barricades that are hard closed,
Yeah.
you can't get through. There might be a little bit of a crack that the residents, you tell them how to do it, but to most people, it looks like you can't get through. There's some tricks we can do.
What I did do is I did talk to this, or Kurt talked to the city of Marshfield, okay? And they are looking at doing the rest of Van, resurfacing. So then I called American Asphalt, and he said if we can coordinate that, they'll give us a better price. Kevin, yeah,
Oh, good,
yeah.
okay.
He said-
Head into the west.
Yes,
Past
Yeah.
Lincoln.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, the other
go-
one.
yeah.
Get it all done and everybody was.
That's really bad.
Nice.
So anyway, talking to Kevin, he said, yeah, he says if you can coordinate that, and they were talking at the city to put that in their budget for this coming year, so hopefully we can make that all work.
Okay,
As Kevin told me, the bigger the job, it all works.
sure, right?
So, we'll see.
So are you gonna keep in touch with the city of Marshall then regarding, or
Well,
who's
of
gonna?
course, either that or be referred
Okay.
between the two of us.
Okay, that sounds good.
He's my go-to guy.
And I noticed you guys have a nice website, you know, so we can put information about road closed on your website. I think Jim Griesbach would probably do the same for the Marathon County site,
Okay,
and maybe we can get City of Marshfield to at least alert some of their folks the same.
yeah.
Sure.
All right, sounds good, Jim.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And give me a call on that other.
Sure, I
Yeah,
did spend a couple hours tonight before the meeting. I looked at Stott Avenue from 97 to see and Dalvin from Elm Tree to see and got some notes. Let me think about them and give you an idea of what I would apply for as far as improvement.
Okay, Scheuer Creek too, also for the LRIP. We had looked at that before,
Okay,
so I'll need something on that one.
sure. I think I have notes on that one.
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
Thanks, Jim, I appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Kraus Road, Mr. Joe.
Well, you can pick up. Okay, for those that don't know me, I'm Joe Bergen, town chairperson out of Dane. I've talked to Deb a little bit, and we've come to the point that probably involve you guys here at the town board. I have a piece of property on Cross Road that's just inside, well, it is in the day, but Cross Road off of 97 up to River Run, we share that road with McMillan, half and half. I have a piece of property on the corner of River Run and Cross that's vacant, the old Clover Hill cheese factory. Been contacted by the realtor that there was two interested parties for that building. One walked away. The second party, I've been talking with them. They're interested. They haven't put in an offer to purchase yet or anything. The concern they have is road limits. Okay. Again, town of McMillan, they have 16-ton signs on their roads year-round, correct? And the other big concern is in the spring, we got 5 to 7 weeks that, you know, who knows what happens to our roads during that time. So the question is, a couple questions is, would the town of McMillan be interested in partnering with the town of Day to make this a road that you can run year-round without weight limits on? It's background is you got the interested party is a cheese manufacturer. He wants to move some of his operation to that area, bringing raw cheese into that building and then packaging. He's talking probably a truck daily, truck with raw cheese 2, maybe 3 times a week. So he's aware of the weight limit, especially in the spring, because I told him I won't budge, you know, I won't lift them. But, you know, can we work around the weather? Yes, possibly, you know. He says, can you move stuff in at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, at a lesser weight in his semis? You know, instead of bringing in a full semi of raw cheese of 80,000 pounds, you know, when you got the tractor and trailer and the raw material, you got 80,000 pounds of it. So it's a concern. So, and again, I've been looking at road programs. You got your STP locals, which is Surface Transportation Fund, and it is only 80%, not 90% funding on that. That's a federal program. You have what they got, well, they got the LRIP. Deb and I had talked about, well, maybe I can apply for ag road, but again, talking with the state, they said, don't do that because they don't even know what's gonna be in that program yet. So,
The issue that I have with that is I don't wanna waste that ag grant on a half a mile.
the other thing, talking with the state people, is when I tell them it's a shared road, townships, how do we apply? And they're like, I don't know. So, I have a conference call with some state people on Wednesday. Gave them my list of questions and said, set up a conference call because I need answers. Because again, like John said, you know, the STP program I gotta have submitted by October 27th. So I need answers because next week I gotta present this to my team up in Town Day also. So, we have that, and then there's another one that's called the T program, Transportation Economic Assistance. It's a program that invites business to come into your area. So they pay so much per employee that you have at that site. They're looking to employ 14 to 20 people possibly, and then you get X number of dollars per employee. So my question back to the state people, can I use the T program and the STP program at the same time? Because one's a state, the other one's a federal. They're like I said, there's nothing that I've read that says I can't use both. So those are questions that they're looking at. Hopefully I have answers on Wednesday afternoon when I talk to that team there. So, timeline, if we move forward, potential buyers like to be started operation middle of January of 2024. So, yeah.
I guess I'm just thinking out loud, but here you got two townships and you got an agricultural program, like you said. Why wouldn't the state look favorably on that as another place of employment and employing more people? I think that would work for all parties involved for the economic well-being of the area. But I'm not.
Yeah. Well, the ag road. Yeah, the ag road. Even the state people at the level that we talk with have no insight what's even coming with that program.
They won't know, they said there won't be anything out until January, February. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly, and it's a one-time shot, 150 million, I think they're talking about, so.
That'd be the first for both townships.
Right, well,
Which is.
exactly, but again, I see, the advantage of where Deb wants to put it also.
Yeah, yeah.
And I get that, you gotta go where your biggest bang buck is.
We're looking at Drake.
So,
That's the university.
so that's what I have is, the question, bottom line question is, does the town of McMillan want to get involved and share the cost to upgrade this road to make it a year-round road without weight limits on it? Yeah, after listening to Jim, I'm like.
I think I can say that if somebody gives us the money, if we get a grant,
Well,
certainly, that doesn't detract from other grants.
what I was thinking also is, the biggest portion of it is gonna be during when the roads are posted.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when most of the damage is gonna be caused. And who's ever buying the business, we get nothing out of that, town of McMillan.
Right.
Okay, that's in the town of Day. Would they compensate us if there is damage on that road, who's ever buying that?
They'd be willing to put gravel up also.
Yeah.
Because
That might be an option if they are willing to help out with the maintenance of the road. We could let them go in at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when those roads are posted. It's a thought, so, because I hate wasting a grant on half a mile.
I understand.
On a property that's not in our township, that we're not getting any tax dollars.
Right, yeah. I mean, I understand working with another township,
Yeah, no, no, I
100%.
agree 100%.
Then they'd like to use that road because it's the shortest
Yeah,
distance there.
I'm all for business, I'm all for making it happen.
So I guess, yeah,
Can you share with us who it is, what?
not at this time I can.
Okay. Because when we did stop, Mullins did participate with
As
us.
far as what?
For the concrete and everything, right?
Cost.
Yeah.
And that's a possibility too, but again, it's, I've asked Deb that, that he's okay that I'm the spokesperson between the townships because he'd rather deal with one versus here and here, and, so then.
Well, it saves a lot of conflict.
Right. At the same time, then if we apply for grants, the town of Dane just got done working with the Green Valley on the Crooked Bridge up there, I call it, on Rangeline Road.
Yeah.
Green Valley took care of everything, and then they just back billed the town of Dane, took care of all the grants and everything else, be upfront with all the paperwork and everything else, once everything's completed. And I would, provide the same transparency that I like to.
The whole road is gravel?
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
And our half mile just got 30 loads this summer here, so tells you the type of condition that my roads are right now. So actually I borrowed money to put our roads on because sand rock was coming through, so.
How many people live on that road?
On yours, you got 3 residents, I have 6.
Yeah. And ours is the first
That would be you
part,
over
portion
there.
up 97.
First
Yes,
half mile.
you're-
Yeah.
Right,
The town of McMillan owns the first half a mile
right.
Past your
from
place,
97.
past your place.
There's gotta be 5 at least, one, church, me,
You call church the nuns?
yeah,
The nunnery.
yeah, 3, 4, 5, there's gotta be 5 in the first half mile, ain't there?
No. I might have missed them, but I thought I only counted 3.
No, it doesn't matter if we ever.
Yeah,
3, 5.
either way.
I think it's just blacktop it right to their end.
What did you say?
You know where that?
What's that?
What did you
I
say?
think you should just blacktop it all the way to M.
Do you? Nice thought.
Also, what about that tower there? Is there any, do they ever contribute anything for any of the roads?
That's
That's on your side.
That's in our town.
Yeah, we
But
don't,
they don't
no, they
No,
don't
that's-
give us
contribute
anything either.
No, that's a landowner thing.
Yeah, okay.
gets paid.
Oh, he does,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And my guess is he really don't give a fiddlers,
Huh?
he doesn't really give up fiddlers of whether or not we get any money or not, whoever owns
Right,
it.
yeah.
So,
But that's what I gotta present.
gives you something to think about at this point, just what it amounts to.
Right, but again,
Your
like John said, if I wanna apply for the STP grant,
Mm-hmm.
The end of this month?
it's due the 27th
Yeah,
of October.
and you can apply for 2. And I want to apply for Galvin and Sod.
Mhm.
So unless you guys don't want to.
Well,
But
that
I
was
think
on
those-
the LRIP though, right?
No, the LRIP, I want to Shire Creek,
Okay.
because it's a little bit smaller project, but that road's in bad shape. So,
But yeah, first off, I gotta find out what's going on Wednesday with all my questions from the state people. Working with a couple of them down in Madison, and then the local guy out of Wisconsin Rapids, Jordan Keebley. I don't know if you guys have worked with him previously or not.
I don't know the name.
Yeah.
That T program though, that's basically for bringing businesses in, or so they would actually possibly, as a grant type, would cover the portion in McMillan also?
Don't know, that's what I
You
gotta
gotta
ask.
ask that.
Because there again, for example, if you got, they're talking possibly a minimum of 14 people, and if they're given $5,000 per person, that's 70,000. 70,000 isn't much for a road today. So that's why I'm looking at the STP to go with it. And there again, once you go into a T program, there's a section in there, the potential employer has to fill out, he's gotta be, be there X number of years and everything else.
Mhm.
He is a long time cheesemaker in the area, so.
So, if this doesn't work out, what is the road option for them?
Tom and Dave's gotta go to Plan B, which would be River Run, which is 2 miles.
To the north?
Yeah, you'd have to go down C. C isn't posted by the county because of the Mullins and the feed mill there. Then be 2 miles up River Run.
I guess the main thing is, why don't you ask them if they'd be willing to contribute every year if the roads are damaged?
Yeah, I think we need to know more. But I agree, I'm for businesses too, I think they're important and they're local, and we just also need to protect our roads.
I mean, they're only gonna be going in once, like in the morning or whatever, and then come back out.
Yeah, they
It's
take,
in and out once a day,
They're gonna be loaded both ways?
well,
Yeah.
probably.
when he goes in, he's gonna be full, but that's not every day.
Okay,
Because it takes 2 to 3 days to package off a full load of raw cheese.
okay.
And then when he goes out, it's 28,000, he figures for packaged cheese, but again, with the road limits on, I already told him, I says, we can't even allow that, it's gotta be half loads, quarter loads or whatever, and he's willing to work with us on that. Biggest thing is again, if you're a cheese processor, packager, you can't sit for 5 weeks, 7 weeks without moving your product.
Yep.
Right.
And that's his biggest concern right now.
I know I had brought it up to Joe, maybe, real early in the morning or when the roads are harder,
Right.
or traveling through there.
Right.
So, it's something to look at. Like I said, if they can
Yeah.
compensate us a little bit for maintenance, if there's some damage, and they have to fix it, we can,
I think we're open to that, right?
pardon?
We're open to that.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess after my conversation with the state people this week here, and again, I told the buyer that, or the potential buyer, I update them after this evening.
I mean, if you get some free money from the state, go for it, Joe.
So, and again, it's like I said, if I can get the T and then the STP program also to go with it, that'd be, but there again, he says nobody applies for the T funding for very little. And he was surprised that all of a sudden, that I called him on when they just had a meeting the day before, saying, what can we do to get businesses coming into this area to go into this program. So, yeah. And again, I appreciate you guys' time. Like Deb says, I realize, there's not a lot of, there's no tax revenue kickback on it for the town of McMillan, but,
If you can kind of twist their arm to be a real partner in, helping any damage and what have you that might occur.
yeah.
And I think we all
I
like
mean, you're in a
cheese.
good position right now to go after them on it.
Well,
Lactose intolerant.
they do have other products that take care of them, so. No, Caroline, you had said that Mullins had worked with you in regards to a road. I take it that they shared some of the cost in construction of it. May I ask what kind of percentage, so then that way I can be thinking
No,
of it? Or-
he made a decision what he was gonna give us, and that was it. And so we were happy to have anything that he might contribute. But you see, the thing, where our biggest problem there was when the trucks, there was no room for them to turn around.
Right.
And so they'd back out onto the road, turn around, and go back in for their weight stuff. And it destroyed it. So he did all of that work for the coming into the road itself,
Yeah, and that's, yeah,
right
that's
up to us.
That's why we did it in cement versus
Yeah.
asphalt.
And this guy is looking to do the same thing, you know, if you go Clover Hill,
Yep.
it's a weed jungle right now, and gravel and everything else,
Yep.
and,
Yeah.
so, you know, you'd have to clean it up and get the dock area so it's transportable. Okay.
Keep
Any
us
other
in the
questions?
loop. Keep us in the loop.
Yep, like I said, you know, Deb and I, we've been talking about it. Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, Marshfield Library Agreement Division.
Okay, so, in your packet, this is basically, what we want to do is, review this, and then so that if we identify anything that's gonna be an issue, for the city of Marshfield, to approve this. And we'll have to sign it as well. This is an agreement, there was a big ruckus, I mean, not a big ruckus, but, you know, it was an issue back in 1999 when this agreement went in. It has not been altered since then. So what this document does is it updates it to a lot of verbiage, adding Everett Rail, you know, the ERMPL, you know, that Marshfield Municipal Public Library versus just the Marshfield Public Library. That's one change, minor change. Then the board member from Tom McMillan shall be appointed for a term of 2 years under A2. That was added. Then for the funding, we've simplified the funding into, it used to be, it just used to be a straight,
Per article,
what's that?
just straight per article?
Yeah, well, the funding used to be, just a straight, average, a 3-year rolling average. And what this does is it takes a 2-year rolling average and then what the calculation for this year would be. It just, and all that does is, like last year, we had a big jump. It went to like 111,000 from like 80,000. Last year's, ours would have been like, you know, 92. And then this year, you know, the calculation this year is like 91. Well, it might have been like 95 then, you know, just because it's just smoothing the transition out. It's not in the packet here, but I sent you all the calculations.
Right.
And it all makes good sense to me. I don't, you know, and then in the funding, we eliminated the Marathon County aspect of it.
Okay.
Because since 1999, it's never been used once.
Okay.
Okay? Marathon County Library System is not responsive to the requests in order to evaluate that. So it's never been used, they're not responsive, we just eliminated it.
Okay. Is this ready to send to the attorney?
Yes.
Okay.
So what about number 2 here, the town shall apply for exemption, so we need to apply for exemption for Marathon County?
No. Well, that how do you say it? Yes, it's written that we have to apply for that, but I think it's just something that's formality.
Okay, all right.
You can always have the attorney double check that area too.
Right.
Other question like that. So this is basically ready to send to Lee and have him look it over,
Correct.
correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Do I need to do anything of that, or will you send that over?
I can send it over to him.
Okay.
And then we can have we need this, it needs to be approved by December, so we got plenty of time, right? December's meeting,
Yes, yeah, right, because,
January 1.
the timeline is that, City of Marshfield would like us, you know, to, if we don't have any comments, then they'd like to send it to their council
Mm-hmm.
and to their, main board, you know, for approval.
Okay.
And for review
Mhm.
in the, in their November meeting and then sign in their December meeting, yes.
Okay. So do we want to wait till after they send it to their city council, or do we?
Yeah, we don't need to approve this.
Right.
Right now, all we need to do is just say,
Is there anything that our attorney sees in there that we should be alarmed with?
right,
Okay.
yeah, I don't necessarily need a motion,
Okay.
no.
Okay. No, we can't prove it until we have the attorney with us.
Right.
That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
So, does anybody see anything on there that?
I'm just curious about, do we have any actual number of users? You know, it used to be, you know, when the number of users or whatever it was they checked out.
They had calculations.
And so,
Yeah,
do we have any idea?
Yeah, we have the exact numbers
Okay,
of circulation, of the number of,
people that participate,
yes, yeah, that's all in that spreadsheet
okay.
that I sent, yeah, it's all about the users, but they don't count, these calculations don't count, electronic,
Oh,
checkouts, because
yeah,
unfortunately, it's a complicated,
yeah.
They share
It's-
with everybody.
yeah,
In the
yeah,
electronic.
but eventually, we're gonna have to come up with a new thing if and when the people visiting the library becomes all digital, when there are no written books. I mean, if and when that time comes, you know, because that's what it's all based on, it's all written material, you know, and, you know, the way the world's going,
I hope I'm dead by then.
yeah.
I will be.
Well, I won't be, and John won't be.
You don't know that.
Well, you're on your own then.
You're not that damn young, Nicole.
I'm almost 50.
That's all I have.
Okay, CA for CSM. Before we go on, does anybody have any questions for Dan on the agreement? No. Okay, CSM, CA for.
I make a motion to approve the CA for CSM.
Need a second?
I didn't even see it.
It's right at the back.
Here you go. You can have
Oh,
that.
okay, thank you.
But we still need a second on the motion to continue.
I'll second it for discussion.
Yeah.
Was there something about the access or something, did I read someplace? That the plan commission had, did you have a question, Bruce?
No.
I thought there was something in the minutes.
There's an easement, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah, that easement, the driveway in off of Birch.
But the same guy owns both properties.
Yeah, the easement's not a problem.
The easement is not an issue.
I think
Okay.
the question was the farmland preservation of the 35
Well,
acres.
it still falls under 30, there's 35 acres at least. When you take the 6.2 off of the 44, you still have 35 acres, so it doesn't change any of that.
Yeah.
This thing gets converted over to rural estate.
And the plan commission gave their approval.
Right,
Yeah.
correct.
Except in the
Yeah, I don't have any problem.
big. Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, we need to schedule the budget hearing. What date do you want? What date do you need it by? Paperwork.
Well, John and I got a little bit discussed that we tried to do like we've done in some years prior, is have that budget hearing just prior to the board meeting.
I don't
Go
think
into
that's
the
gonna
board meeting.
work.
You think it'll take too long? You can do that, but
Mhm.
why don't you think it'll work? Do you think it'll take
We
too long?
normally have that over at the fire department with the budget. And it has taken longer.
And you wanna do the board meeting at the same time?
the same
After.
night.
Oh, boy.
I think that's a little much.
I guess we've done it in the past, but.
We have,
It don't matter.
Yeah.
So our next board meeting is November 13th, right?
Where am I
Yeah.
here? Yeah.
well, then you have to have that prior to that, because that stuff has to be over to the county.
You have to
we
have it in before then.
Yeah, you
By when?
Well, before the week of Thanksgiving, they want to do the calculations, so I.
Okay, when do you need it by, Donna?
Well, I can't give you a,
Kinda, sorta.
who's giving calendar.
23rd, 22nd, 21st, 20th, 11th, 20th is Monday.
Our board meeting is the 13th,
Yeah.
so, I mean, if we could do that the week before, because then we have to get it to the county, and everything else has to come in.
So
And then
November 6th?
Thanksgiving, yeah,
You wanna do it on a Monday, or do you want a different day of the week?
I mean, we're pretty well done with it, right? Were we gonna have another workshop or not?
Not to my knowledge, we were
No.
basically looking at income, that was it, getting that, so.
I say the 6th or the 7th is fine with me.
7th is out because every Tuesday there's fire department meetings or trainings.
Well, I guess the
You have meetings on the 7th, on Tuesdays. Yeah, so Monday would
Anybody
be
else have
better.
anything for, so the 6th would work for everybody?
Yep.
Okay.
That's Monday.
That's fine.
At what time?
6.
6.
November 6th at 6.
Yeah. Okay.
John, you got to get your postings out? Does that have to be, what, 2 weeks prior?
15 to 20.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the special town meeting of electors, we need to schedule that?
That's the same day.
Oh, okay.
That's all together.
Oh, I thought they were separate for some reason. Okay.
We'll do them all at 6 o'clock. Today's
Do you
date.
think it will take more than an hour, Laura?
It depends. When they go through the budget, it's hard to say. All right, so 6 o'clock on the 6th. For a budget hearing. Do we need a motion for any of that, or just no? Okay. And then we need to hire Lori to mow lawns so she can get paid.
I make a motion to hire Lori Bella, and thank you very much for saving my soul.
So have you been mowing?
Yeah, yes.
I mowed
Yeah,
Pavilion twice, Ball Diamond once, Fire Department once.
yes, yes,
Because Rob was on vacation last week.
yeah,
I-
but
I just-
I didn't know he was going, so.
I just think
anyway.
in the future, we need to have that approved in advance, just because if you would have gotten hurt.
That's how it's supposed to be.
I am already a town employee by the fire department, so I'm already covered under workers' comp.
I know,
It
but
was
you
an
need to-
emergency. It was an emergency.
I'm just saying,
Carolyn Grass is not an emergency. You could call and say, let's set the board meeting and get this done. So,
She's already covered. She was not covered, she's covered.
She's already under our liability, so.
she's never in the workman's comp through the fire department. But from, she's
But
being,
you're still,
right.
she's still covered.
But I get where that's coming from too.
Yeah, yeah.
like,
Anyway, I made
So
the
what is the
motion.
motion?
Motion to hire Lori to mow the lawn.
Okay, do we have a second?
No.
I'll second.
How much are we paying her? Same as Rod is getting?
$750.
Well,
Yes,
just
20.
so we know, I mean, Rod's getting 20.
Everybody should get 20.
Well, that's not true, Caroline. We know how that worked for my son.
Yeah, but that was a little different. That was a little different. Yeah, so.
He did
That was
know
your
what?
son.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Also, nepotism.
He-
All right, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
This is one of your longest meetings, Deb.
I know, but we have people.
I know it.
That was the thing.
Well, board and.
You can spell Barry.
Wisconsin Towns Association.
Or the other way you
I have
did
to
it.
turn my time.
Yep, exactly.
I'm naughty.
It's the 26th of this month?
Yes.
Yes. It's country year.
There you go. You have a better solution.
Yeah. Yeah, so, just pop in someday. Okay, yeah, so just fill out, this whole thing.
Think Packers are winning? Think Packers are winning?
First half, they never win in the first half. Or at least not this year.
Yeah. So I think
Nicole
that he
Gibbons.
got,
Which ones?
for the